Bombergers Declaration and the Shenks Homestead Sour Mash. These are both annual limited releases from Michter's. They carry hefty price tags, and are they worth your money? Well, today we're going to find out. Welcome back to another episode of Neat Bourbon. My name's Tanner, and today we got a little double bottle review for you guys. We've got the Shenks Homestead Sour Mash, and we got the Bombergers Declaration. These come in at two completely different proof points. I think this one's like 91.8, and this is 108 proof. They are both finished in two different types of oak. The Bombergers is in a toasted Chicopee oak, and then the Shenks is finished in two different types of oak. One is a French oak that was air dried for 24 months, and the other one is an 18-month naturally air dried wood. So both of these offerings are limited releases from Michter's. They're supposed to be showcasing, some awesome new oak influences. And are these bottles worth your money? The Shenks is coming in at about $110 retail. The Bombergers is closer to $140 retail. They both fetch about $200 on the secondary market. Neither of the bottles say Michter's on them, and are they worth your money? But hey guys, before we get going, I just got to say, the channel's been growing like crazy, and I can't thank everyone out there, so much for all the support. And as a token of my gratitude, I'm announcing my 2,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm going to be giving away two bottles. We got the John J. Bowman single barrel, and then we also have a Weller Antique 107. So now the channel's just over 1,500 subs. Once we get to 2,000, both of these bottles are coming to you guys. So, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and get subscribed, because I got a lot more awesome content coming out soon. And the sooner we get to 2,000, the sooner those bottles are coming to you. All right, so just want to go ahead and get into these two. I've never had the opportunity to put these both side by side. I do have a full bottle review on these Shenks. So I'm not going to go into this bottle in too much detail. I really do want to explore the Bombergers. I was able to pick up both of these on my most recent trip to Kentucky. Picked them up from the distillery. So again, 110. This was 140 for the Bombergers. Man. So, I remember the Shenks coming off really woody, when I first fresh cracked this. This bottle's been open for a little while now. But overall, it is a very sweet nose. It reminds me a lot of just the regular sour mash, but it has a much more oaky influence there. Reaching more towards onto more of an espresso-y, oaky note there on the nose. Not necessarily charry, but very sweet with your vanillas and caramels there. Anyways, off to the palate. Cheers. Wow. Yeah, so got hit with a hint of that butterscotch there, a little bit of toasted butterscotch there. That was pretty nice. I really for being only 91.8 proof, I think that this really delivers on a pretty elevated, at least robust flavor profile that, is you don't always get on bottles, close to 90 proof. I think you're definitely getting a lot of that oak influences coming across onto the palate there. Still all of those caramels and vanillas really transfer well over to the palate. It's more of a toasted French vanilla there than a vanilla bean or just a confectionery sugar vanilla. It's definitely one of a toasty, more of a yellowy French vanilla there. Not much fruit influence at all there. Yeah, not picking up much of a berry note at all. It's just a very sweet caramel toffee forward. It has a decent amount of that toasty marshmallow, note. I can almost get a little bit of that toasted marshmallow, but it's a golden brown, marshmallow there. So it's a little bit more of that toasted confectionery sugar profile on just a lighter side of that toasted marshmallow. But all in all, I've said it before, I think that this bottle is fantastic. For starting out your night with an elevated pour, I think the Shenks, is a great option to start out your night when you're having more of like special occasion pours and you want something low proof, I think like, the Shenks is a great place to start there. I mean, getting too high above that, MSRP, you're going to be reaching a bit. I know you can get these, in that like closer to $1.50. So like, I don't know. I think you're kind of like reaching the value proposition there. But like in that 130 to 110 for like your first bottle, you really want one. I think it's worth the buy. Anyways, off to the Bombergers. This is 108 proof. Again, just like Michter's, mash bills undisclosed, so we do not know. We do know this is a sour mash, and we do know this is a bourbon. And again, this is in toasted Chickapane oak barrels. Wow. Yeah, so right away where the Shenks was, so sweet with like those like vanillas and caramels and like a woody warm, like a warm wood profile there. It's not like a toasted oak where like you're picking up more of like a charry, sweeter caramel on this. And you're definitely getting a little bit more of like a berry influence there. I mean, you can just like take a look, the Bombergers is definitely a little bit darker there. And by the way, this is bottle kill. So we did open this bottle on the Kentucky trip. So clearly we had a few pours out of it. So clearly we enjoyed it a little bit. Man, yeah, I mean, that nose is really good. It's definitely a lot. I mean, granted, 108 proof, so you're getting like 6.2 proof points higher, or, I don't know, 16.2 proof points higher over the Shenk. So there's a little bit more to be desired there. Again, no ethanol coming across from the nose. Anyway, off to the palate. Cheers. Man, that is sweet too. Not like, as vanilla bean sweet, but like the sweetness coming from this is more of like your cherry pipe tobacco, like almost like a cherry syrup pipe tobacco note you got going on there. The oak influence, it definitely stands up, on the Bombergers. You're getting a little bit more of like that toasty oak profile there. Like when I say toasty oak, it's not leaning more towards on like the charry bitter side. It's sort of like if you're speaking in terms of like, like a toasted marshmallow, this one is like more on like the black side, with like an over toasted marshmallow. It's not astringent at all because you have so much of like that Luxardo cherry syrup influence in there. Yeah. I mean, the finish is all right. Nothing too crazy long about the finish. I think the finish is decent. I honestly think that the finish on the 91.8 proof Shenks, was a little bit longer for the proof point than I think that the 108 proof, Bombergers is. I mean, granted, you're paying about like a $30, more of a premium there on the Bombergers and the Shenks. Yeah. It's almost like a scotch drying there on the back end. Yeah, but right up front, you're hit with a lot of like that cherry caramel flavor. Then you're starting to get like a little bit more of like that oak profile coming through on the mid. And then it kind of finishes out a slight bit drying with more of like that cherry sweetness as well. I mean, I think this Bombergers is, pretty killer. I mean, definitely worth, for $140, I don't know. I mean, I would say it's worth $140 for a one-time limited release. Granted, they do like a different finish on these every year, so you're going to get variations on the Shenks and Bombergers from year to year. But this is my first Bombergers that I've had, the 2023, and I think it's great. I like it a lot. I also really like this Shenks. I've been able to give this Shenks to like a bunch of different people. Everyone that I've shared it with all really enjoy it. I mean, if you're going to be picking one, I think, 8 out of 10 people would probably go with the Bomberger since of like the proof. It has more of like that cherry sweetness profile there. But, like don't sleep on the Shenks. The Shenks is absolutely killer. Yeah, it's low proof, but it definitely delivers on like a robust profile, which I think is kind of hard to get from a 91.8 proof bourbon. Those low 90 bourbons, a lot of them really don't have too much going on, but I think this one is, pretty complex for what you're getting in the bottle. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you have, would you please leave me a comment down below? Have you had the Bombergers? Have you had the Shenks? Have you done this comparison? If you could only have one, which one would you get? How many people would choose the Shenks, and how many of y'all would choose the Bombergers? And as always, guys, we're coming up to 2,000 subs, so I'm going to be giving these 2 bottles away. So go ahead and get subscribed if you're not subscribed. And as always, guys, this is Neat Bourbon. My name's Tanner. And pop the bottles and share the pours, and we'll see you in the next one.